Hi, everybody. My name is Christy, and I wanted to talk a little bit today about how I was able to complete a 30-day minimalist challenge in just one day. Now, I have been really motivated the last couple weeks to just clean and clear out all the clutter that I have and just simplify my life. I'm only 24, but I found that I have accumulated a lot of stuff over the course of the last 24 years. So I've really made an effort to do my best to clear out that. So, to be fair, for my 30-day challenge, I really didn't just do all the cleaning in one day. I've been cleaning for the last couple weeks, but yesterday was the one day that I really was able to take stock of everything and look at it as this challenge that I wanted to do. So, how the challenge works is it's 30 days, as I mentioned, and for every day, an additional item is gotten rid of. So, whether you donate it, whether you give it away to somebody, whether it's thrown away. And so, like for day one, you get rid of one thing, and day two is two things, day three would be three things, and so on and so forth for 30 days. So that by day 30, you have on that day you get rid of 30 things. Now, in total, it ends up coming to 465 items. Okay. So, again, to be fair, I had been cleaning out like my closets and my dressers and all this stuff and kind of putting out stuff basically just in the hallway. I had a bunch of laundry baskets full of clothes, some bags full of clothes, of stuff that I wanted to either try to donate or sell or give away. And I knew I had to go back through it because, again, there was some stuff that I didn't set aside that I thought, well, maybe I can sell this. So yesterday I was set on, okay, I'm going to start the challenge today. And kind of thought of it like, okay, maybe I'll get through days 1 through 10, and that would be maybe I think like 50 or 60 items. But as I got rolling with it, I really was able to do way more than that. And I did all 465 things. So I kind of started with just the bathroom because I had to clean my bathroom anyway. So I thought, okay, well, I'll start here and kind of ignored the stuff in the hallway because there was a lot out there and it was kind of overwhelming to me to like go back through it all. Because when I was going through my closets and my bedroom, I was like, okay, I just want to get it out of here and like clear it out. So I decided I'm like, go through my bathroom because I hadn't done that at all. And, I had to clean the shower and I had to scrub everything and, did a really deep clean, but went through all my cabinets and found that there was, some old shampoo bottles that were like, maybe had a little bit left in them that I could throw out, or a couple cleaner bottles that had like a few sprays left. So I used that up, some Clorox wipes that I used up. So went through that, cleared out some of that stuff, and then even in my drawers, just threw out some like old toothbrushes and just like kind of nasty old Q-tips and things. Just got rid of some stuff that was taking up space and cluttering. And before I knew it, I had about 45 things that I was just able to throw away. And just some of it was just old like soap dispensers and whatever. So it was a good feeling. So I said, okay, that takes care of days like 1 through 8. And then I decided I wanted to tackle the attic because I had some stuff that I'd put up there, maybe some old clothes that, like, especially from high school, that I hadn't been wearing. So I just threw them in bins and threw them up in the attic versus donating them a while back. So I went back up there and I found a couple bins of clothes that I'm like, I'm never going to wear this again. Like, I'm just ready to get rid of it. So I brought those down, looked through it all again, and kind of went from there. So the clothes ended up taking about, I don't even know, like hundreds of items of clothes that I was able to get rid of. Not just from the stuff in my closet, but the stuff from the attic. And then when I was in the attic too, I found some like old decorations from like my old room since I've redone it, more since I was a kid. I had some like picture holders and stuff like that, an old lamp that I'm like, I'm not gonna use this again. I'm just not. So the actual items, like miscellaneous kind of stuff that I found in the attic, was about 30 or 35 items. So I figure, okay, that takes care of days 9 through 11. So it's kind of looking at it like, yeah, instead of doing it one day at a time, I thought, well, I could just tackle like at a big group of stuff, and that would be a couple days worth of items. So then I brought those other bins down, went through those bins and found most of that stuff I just was threw in bags to donate. And then took out my clothes that were in the hallway of the nicer stuff that I've worn more recently and pulled out a few of the things and put into other bins because I figure those were things that I probably could sell or at least donate to somebody that's going to get more use out of them. My mom mentioned that she has a friend that has another friend that could totally take this stuff and would like it and could get some benefit from it. So I'm like, okay, well, this is nicer stuff that I can leave up part for them. But in terms of the actual old stuff that was like worn out or maybe had a stain or a hole or just something that was like maybe not as nice that I thought I could donate, maybe somebody can get some use out of it. Put that aside. I had about 150 items of clothes, and that's probably not even like a very accurate number. It was just kind of like, okay, well, that's days 12 through 20. It had to be like about 150, so that was that. I know I had probably way more than that, but that was kind of how I counted it. Um, and then I found another bin that was in the attic of my old bed sheets and old pillows from, again, before I redid my room and I bought all new sheets. This is from when I was a little bit younger. I'd gotten a couple new sets of sheets. So those I washed and donated those as well. Put all that stuff into a bin. So between the pillows, a couple like decorative pillows and some nicer pillows that I had that I wasn't using, wasn't going to be using, and then the sheets and like duvet covers and things that I had that came out to be covered my day 21. So it was 21 things. So, and even that, I held on to one other of my sheet sets because I thought, well, maybe this I might use again. They're nice, like better quality, a little bit higher thread count, and they still fit my bed. So I thought, okay, well, I'll keep those because if I can change them out with the one I have now, when one's being washed, to swap them, it's kind of nice to have a couple extra sheets. So I did keep some. And then I got to my shoes. I had, again, like up in the attic, I had a couple pairs of shoes that I had wanted to donate and just never brought. So I brought those down. At that time, there was 12 pairs of shoes. And I thought, okay, well, now I'm on day 22. So, and this is again on one day, but it's day 22, so I have to find 22 pairs of shoes. Now, I had gone through and found a couple other pairs as I was cleaning up my closet over the last couple weeks. So I had a few other pairs, and then I reevaluated again yesterday, and I thought, okay, we get to 22. There's got to be a couple other pairs that I don't need. And sure enough, I was able to detach myself from a couple of the pairs that I was really holding on to, but realized they're really worn out, they're really crummy. Am I really going to be wearing those again? Probably not. So got rid of those 22 pairs of shoes. Awesome. And a couple pairs of slippers as well. Then for days 24, 23, and 24, I had a ton of underwear that I had gone through. I had a whole drawer full of underwear. A lot of it was old. I mean, honestly, I'm sure you guys probably don't need to hear about all my worn out underwear, but I had a lot of stuff that I was like, I'm not going to be wearing this. And so I held on to the nicer stuff. I figure I don't need 50 extra pairs of underwear, and literally was able to come up with 47 pairs of underwear. Plus, I still have a ton left. So it wasn't like I just cleared out my entire underwear drawer. I mean, I still have enough that'll last me a couple weeks without doing laundry. So it's pretty crazy that I had that much. um, it just means I got to do laundry more often. So that was my day 23, 24. 25 was socks. I have a huge fuzzy sock collection from like the winter. I always wear fuzzy socks. I pretty much never wear like ankle socks in the winter. I always wear fuzzy ones with boots or whatever. They're just comfy. Wear socks all the time to work. So, and I coach gymnastics, so I'm always walking around a gym without any shoes on. So my socks really do get worn out. So I had some socks that were starting to get kind of holey, just worn down, not as comfy as they should be. And I'm like, they're done, So found 25 pairs of both fuzzy socks and some of my more athletic socks that I wear with gym shoes. I don't really wear gym shoes that much, so I thought, okay, well, I don't need 20 pairs of white socks and 20 pairs of black ankle socks. Like, I just don't. So I was able to consolidate a lot of that. And again, some of this was stuff I had done over the last couple weeks, but just set it aside. So then I was kind of counting and trying to, even when I didn't have 25 pairs, I went back in the drawers and thought, okay, I'll pull out a few more. So that worked out really well. For 26, then I was like, okay, I need 26 things. And I'm looking around going, how am I going to find 25 or 26 more things? And I realized I have these up here, which I had been keeping some like old makeup. So originally it was like, I kept lip gloss and lipstick in one, and eyeliners in another, and eyeshadows in another. Went through that and was easily able to find 26 items from those that I didn't need. Lip gloss and lipstick I never wear, just got rid of them all. The eyeliners, I figure I'm probably not going to be wearing these ones. If I run out of eyeliner and I need more, I'm going to go buy a new stick because they do expire and they do kind of get old and nasty and dried out and whatever. So just got rid of it. So that was easy, really. And then 27, I went through, I had another bag of stuff in the attic that was like old purses, and they were really old, like from when I was a kid. But I kind of kept them because I used to want to own a preschool, and I was going to open a preschool. So I thought, okay, well, this will be fun, like for the little girls for dress up. So I'm going to keep them and whatever. Well, went up there yesterday and was like, I'm not going to be opening a preschool. And if I were to open a preschool, I have plenty more bags now that I could give them to play with. So that was easy. I think there was like 12 maybe purses in there, or 15 or something. There was a lot. So, but I needed 27. And then I had some old pouches, like, stuff like this, like for makeup that was in my closet that, again, I had pulled out a couple weeks ago. So I'm like, okay, perfect. So I kind of consolidated all that. I grabbed a couple more even of the purses I have. I have a really big like handbag collection. Honestly, that's something that, not even expensive handbags, just stuff that I like. I usually buy something when I'm on like vacation. I'll buy like a new shoulder strap purse. I like hippie kind of bags. So I had a couple other ones that I'm like, I'm not going to use it. So I just got rid of it. So that was my 27 with like the bags and the purses and the pouches. For 28, day 28, 28 items. I found another bin upstairs. See, again, this was what was cool about it because I had a lot of stuff stored in the attic. So it was actually really easy for me to like do all this in one day because I already had some stuff kind of stockpiled. But I had a bin full of like sewing scraps and fabric pieces, that were kind of odd, like maybe not big enough for me to really use to make anything. And some of it actually I'd gotten from my grandma because she's big into sewing. So she'd given me that when I was first learning to sew, just some stuff to practice on. So went through those, looked at it, was like, I'm never going to use any of this again. And I had a bunch of scraps and a couple other scraps that I had kept in my sewing box that I have here in my bedroom. And it was interesting because all this stuff that I was putting outside to donate, I knew AMVETS was coming. They came this morning. So yesterday I was like, I gotta get all this stuff out there and get ready. And when I looked at it, I know they take clothes, and I thought, okay, I'll go on their wish list online and see what else they take. And sure enough, like sewing scraps was on there. So I'm like, perfect. Like I can get rid of all this shit. I don't need to hold on to it because that's the one thing like I kind of hate to just throw in the garbage because, it's just wasteful. So if somebody can find some use out of it, great. Now for 29, I had a bunch of outerwear that I was able to get rid of. I've been a pretty avid like snowboarder and skier since I was a little kid. My family always went on ski trips, and so I had a lot of ski stuff. I had tons of gloves. I had neck warmers and hats, a bunch of hats, and scarves and earmuffs and just all kinds of goofy shit that I'm like, oh, I haven't even worn this stuff in a while. And plus, in the last couple of years, I've gotten new stuff that's nicer that maybe matches my coat or whatever. So and I had a vest that I never wear. So that was all stuff that I counted up, 29, great. And I still have stuff. It's not like I got rid of all my stuff. I had some gloves that were worn out that I replaced this year. So some of it was just worn out. And then for day 30, I went through jewelry. Again, jewelry was something I had gone through when I was doing my big clean over the last couple weeks and just set a bunch of stuff in a bag. And when I counted it, I ended up having like 20, I think. So I went back through again and thought, okay, there's a couple necklaces that I don't use. There's a few more bracelets that I'm probably not going to wear again. Some like costume rings. And I'm not really a big like accessories jewelry person, so that was easy for me to let go of. So I was really impressed with myself when I looked at, and again, jewelry was another thing. Going back, that was another thing that I had. That's a take. So I put all the stuff out on my porch and was so impressed with how much I was able to get out of there, out of my house. I had 465 things and probably even more because, again, the clothes, I know I had a ton. I probably had way more than that. That was that. And then the other thing too was I had some bras and some swimsuits that I counted in somewhere along the lines. I just threw them out. I didn't even really count those. It wasn't like they were enough to justify, like, okay, this is 28 bras. No, it wasn't. But all that stuff was awesome. It's a really good feeling to get rid of the stuff. And again, it had been a process for me to like clean out my closet and clean out my dresser. So it wasn't like in one day I found 465 things because that's really overwhelming. But if you do have stuff that's like up in the attic that you thought like, oh, maybe one day I'll bust this out again, or, I'll reassess it later on. I'll just put it out of sight for right now. All that stuff, if you really think about it, it's like when you look at it again and realize, like, okay, I haven't touched this in a few years. Are you really going to at that point? Probably not. So it's a great feeling. I know I still have a lot of work to do. I still have a closet that's pretty full, and I have a dresser that is like half full. Um, so I know I want to do the challenge again because I know that there's still a lot more, which is kind of crazy because I've kind of always looked. I'm not like a huge shopper. I don't really like go out on shopping sprees and buy a bunch of stuff. I just don't. I'm not really into clothes. I wear basic stuff all the time. But I'm hoping to do the challenge again because I think even if I do start it again, um, think about it and getting rid of another 465 things is kind of overwhelming, but I want to do it a little more true to like the actual challenge where every day I do get rid of something. This was just like, okay, well, this fits into day 1, and this is day 20, and this is day 30, because there's that many things. But it's true, a lot of it I really did accumulate and get together yesterday and not over the course of 30 days. So it was kind of neat. Um, so I encourage everyone to try that 30-day challenge. And again, you don't have to do it all in one day like I did. It just was easy for me because I've been really motivated about just downsizing and clearing out and making things simpler. So it's a great feeling, even if you're not trying to go like minimalist, which is what I'm kind of in the process of trying to do. So that's been inspiring for me. But everyone should do it. I mean, it's springtime, do some spring cleaning. That's kind of a natural way of the way the energy is right now. So maybe don't clear out a bunch of stuff, especially if you have a harder time letting go. But I encourage everybody to take on a challenge and push yourself and be honest with yourself with the stuff that you have, because the stuff that you have is not defining you. And some people don't really get that. So don't be a consumer and just clear it out. It feels really awesome. I mean, I feel really light and like happy today now that I have all this stuff that's been kind of surrounding me lately is kind of gone. It really feels lighter. I feel like the energy of my room is really positive. And even upstairs in the attic, that stuff I got rid of. I mean, we got a ton of shit up there, so it still needs a lot of work, but I think that just that little bit really makes a difference. So I encourage you to try it, or just every couple days or few weeks, think of tackle one room or tackle one drawer or something. So anyway, that's how I was able to make that happen yesterday, and it's a really, really cool experience. So I hope you all give it a try and have a wonderful day. Thank you.